Guys, good morning. It is Sunday, NFL Sunday, plenty of games, but man, it feels like the past couple of days we have so much football. It does not feel like a typical Sunday, especially with the Ravens playing yesterday, dominating, playing complimentary football. I mean, geez, we're ready to win the Super Bowl, it looks like, after that game, because if bad things happen, which they do in every single football game, it's always about how you react to it. And the Ravens, yeah, just typically fold after bad things happen. It's like one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And next thing you know, you're trying to figure out how we lost this game. And that's been the case for the past few years. Just game after game after game that we have no business losing, that we lose. And yesterday, after Lamar throws that interception, coming down the red zone, looks like we're about to go up 14, and he throws the pick. It man, for Humphrey to get the interception on the next possession is just awesome. So complimentary football, Ravens roll. Got my two prop bets, barely basically, but we got there. The other two games, and not so much. So I'm going to recap them real quick and then go through the games today. And hopefully we can, be on the right side of more of these games. Looking to snap out of this funk that I've been in the past few weeks. But yeah, yesterday the Texans tied the game up against the Chiefs, or they're about to tie it up in the second half with a huge, Stroud hits Tank Dell in the end zone, and then Tank Dell is out for the season. They miss the extra point, and the Texans don't score after that, or they got a field goal, but the Chiefs are able to put them away. So tough game for Houston. I feel like I would have taken the Texans. The game played out the way I wanted it to play out. Texans just could not make enough plays. They got that fourth down stop when it was 17-16 and had the ball, and they couldn't do anything with it. And Chiefs just made too many plays. So that was the end of that. Texans are pretty much locked into the 4 seed. Whoever they play is still up for, I guess we'll figure out that part in the next couple of weeks, but they're gonna have a hard time getting to the 3 spot. Yeah, so they're the four right now. They get the Ravens on Wednesday. Ravens should beat them. I would think. I mean, Houston's just losing Tank Dell makes me feel like it's just really not their year. They couldn't rally behind losing him. I have a hard time thinking they're going to rally next week against us. They seem like they're headed for one and done in the playoffs. Stranger things have happened. Stroud is still really good, but a couple bad plays yesterday. And yeah, so Texans lose. Geez, these college football playoff games couldn't be any worse, right? I mean, like the Notre Dame Indiana game was terrible. Indiana makes it, look, if you watched it, you turned it off. They only lose by 10, but the game wasn't close. SMU, I don't know what they were doing yesterday. It's like they were just interception after interception after interception. That game was the definition of not competitive. Didn't see much of the Clemson Texas game, but wasn't a four. Texas wins by 2 touchdowns, so that's that. And last night, like getting a game wrong is one thing. Getting a game wrong and not having a chance to win the game, that just sucks. And that's what happened in Tennessee yesterday. Just they got blitzed from the beginning and they couldn't recover. So they're down, just 21-0 right away. Just oh, terrible game. So playoffs continue. What's it? New Year's Eve. Excuse me. And then on New Year's, hopefully we get better games. I mean, my goodness, they're just terrible games for the first four college football playoffs. So that was yesterday. Maryland looked amazing. If you saw any of that, that was just an absolute clinic. They destroyed Syracuse. And all right, let's go through all these games. Figure out if we can make some money today. I feel like there's a couple of these games that I really really like. So instead of having 6 or 7 bets today, I'm going to limit myself because some of these games are also like, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. So Browns Bengals, that's the first one. 9 points seems like way too many, except when you're like, how are the Browns going to score at all? No Nick Chubb. They're going with DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. Feels like the Bengals will handle them. 46 points seems like a lot. I would think the Browns defense will still play respectable. 46 is a lot of points. I like the under there. That's going to be my first bet is under 46. 9 points. I wouldn't be surprised one way or another. Bengals still have a shot to make the playoffs. They actually have the best shot of anybody in the AFC that's not in the playoffs because they get to play the Broncos next week. So if they win out and the Broncos lose out, which would mean, the Broncos just have to lose to the Chiefs the last week of the year. The Bengals play the Steelers last week. So the Bengals still have a shot. They should destroy Cleveland, but just in case it gets a little close, I think it'll be a tight game. If it's a tight game, it'll still go under. So that's my first thought. The Lions Bears, stay away from me. Don't know what's going to happen with the Lions. They are reeling. All signs would point towards Chicago this week because of the way they came back and played Detroit on Thanksgiving, made that game relatively close until the coach and Caleb couldn't get together. They fired the coach. The Bears just looked bad, but they're home. It's 7 points. Division game. It's a stay away from me. I don't know what to make of the Lions. I'm really curious to see how they play the last few weeks because if they find a way to get the 1 seed, I'll be very confident in them. If they don't, I think they're one and done. So Cardinals Panthers. Every time I take the Panthers, I lose. So there, no way I'm taking the Panthers. Cardinals got to go all the way to the East Coast, but they have still something to play for. As their odds are not great, but they do have a shot. So 5 points, you would think they would cover the spread, but who knows? Arizona's defense is really good. I would think the game would, Carolina's total offensive points, you would think that goes under, but every time I touch Carolina, it seems like it goes the wrong way. So 47 seems a lot. Carolina's team total, that would be a good spot if you're inclined to do so. The best game of the 1 o'clock spot is the Commanders-Eagles. Commanders can win the division if they win out and the Eagles lose out. Not a really high chance of that happening. Daniels has looked great since the rib injury. It would be interesting to see if Washington looks better against Philadelphia offensively than they did the first time. That was a Thursday night game where Philly they really dominated the line of scrimmage on the defensive side, and Washington couldn't get anything going. Washington was pretty good on defense that night. It's a couple coaching decisions that I think cost Washington. So they're live. It's a 4-point spread. I think it goes one way or the other. I don't really have a strong feeling on it. Eagles really want that 1 seed, and they have the inside track to get it if they can just win out. Looks like the Lions and Vikings, it'd be hard for one of them to win out. Eagles will have the tiebreaker, or will not have the tiebreaker on the Vikings or the Lions, most likely. So I would expect the Eagles to play really well. They haven't lost in forever. So should be a good game. Staying away from it. Michael Penix is the quarterback for the Falcons. I hope the Giants win. I don't think the Falcons should be favored by 9 points, but I can't bet the Giants. So it's just a stay away. But what a terrible game this should be. It would be interesting to see if Penix looks good. But besides that, wow, what a dud of a game on a 1 o'clock slate there because the Giants are the least fun team to watch. They have nothing going on at all. So see what happens in that game. But yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that one. The Titans and the Colts. I don't have too much energy left to talk about the Colts this year, but I need them to win the last 3 games here to get over 8.5 wins. They should get there because they get the Jags, the Giants, and today they get the Titans at home. Titans are terrible, but the Colts blew their chance to make the playoffs last week. They had Denver, Jonathan Taylor. I don't feel like talking about the Colts. If they win, great. If they don't, it's not going to shock me. Titans are impossible to predict from a play-to-play standpoint, let alone a game-to-game standpoint. So we'll see what happens. Colts are favored by 3.5, but not, no opinion on that one. This one, I do like the Jets to cover 3 points against the Rams. It feels like the Jets are just, when they're playing with nothing to lose on offense, really tough to stop. Now that there's no pressure on Rodgers and Adams and company, feels like the offense is going to put up points against the Rams. The Rams defense, if they play with the lead, they tend to play really good defense. But if not, they can get pushed around. There's holes all over the place on that defense. The Rams are a really good front-running defensive team because they have a good pass rush without blitzing. But you can run on them. If you get ahead of the sticks, you're in trouble. Rams going on the road. They have, I mean, Puka and Cooper are so much fun, but if there's one defense you don't really want to play with that type of offense, it would be the Jets. Jets do have the secondary, plus the game's outside. It's cold. It wouldn't shock me if the Jets win this game. Rams -3. The 4 o'clock games, I do like Seattle. I think it's a good spot for them. They got humiliated on national television at home last week against the Packers. They're getting 3 at home against the Vikings. It's a good matchup for Seattle. The Vikings are going to slip up here. They rolled over the Bears. They've been rolling, but they got the Lions the last week of the season. I think they slip up here. I think Seattle really, really, really plays well. They need this game. Seahawks got to win 2 out of 3 to make the playoffs. Next week they're at the Bears on Thursday night. They don't want that game to. They don't want all that pressure. I think they win this game. I think Seattle wins. That's the second game that I like. The last couple of games, Bills and the Patriots. Bills are 14-point favorites. I'd stay away from giving all those points just because Drake May is good. You know, the quarterback for the Packers or for the Patriots. So feels like a stay away. But the Bills are rolling. I don't know if it's their year, but they just gotta stay away from injuries. If I'm Buffalo, I am running this week. I know they want to get Josh Allen the MVP, but just keep him healthy and see if you can find a way to keep this momentum going into the playoffs because the Bills are playing like the best team. 14 points is a ton, so I'll stay away from it. Talk about 2 teams that most people at least had one of these teams in the playoffs, Niners and the Dolphins. This game is, both teams are technically alive. I don't know how to handicap it. Both teams are just down and out. Brock Purdy and the Niners are, they'll probably play really well today on offense. That would be my gut because they, be a good environment for them. Last time they played, it was, like a monsoon there in San Francisco. So I would expect the Niners to win, but who knows? And preparing for that Dolphins offense is pain in the ass. So if the Niners weren't engaged in practice this week, I could see some big plays for Miami. Feels like an overbet, 44.5, but I will stay away. Jags Raiders are also playing today. Jags are playing the Raiders. Yep, that's pretty much what I got for that one. We'll just go to the Sunday night game. Bucks and the Cowboys, that's the last game that I like. So the 3 games I like are, I like Seattle. I think they're going to win outright, take the 3 points against the Vikings. Like the under in the Browns and the Bengals. And no way to stay away from Tampa. 4.5 points is generous. Should be 7. It just, to me, it's a simple analysis. Like the Cowboys are defeated. They lost Overshawn, their best defensive player outside of Parsons. They have tons of injuries. Tampa is highly motivated. They have to win out to win that division in case Atlanta wins out. So, I mean, Tampa's just way better. There's no home field advantage in Dallas. It won't feel like it. Baker's pretty much back home. Clean environment, Sunday Night Football. I think Tampa absolutely rolls them. So I'll give the 4 points. I think it was 4.5 when I just looked at it. So those are those are my thoughts for today. Anything else I'll pump out there later this afternoon. But yeah, I wanted to get the pod out early this morning before I got a million different things to do here as we get So anyway, all right. Have a good afternoon, guys. Hope you guys get lucky. Hope you guys win. I'm looking forward to finally being a positive Sunday. It's been too long, too many weeks here, not getting on the right side of things. So looking forward to that today. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the morning. Have a good day.